If you've hit your 40s and suddenly feel like your body has betrayed you, like you're eating the same foods, doing the same workouts, but somehow gaining weight anyway, you're not imagining it. But here's what most doctors won't tell you. There are actually 3 hidden metabolic shifts happening in your body right now that have nothing to do with willpower. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly what they are, and more importantly, what actually works to fix them. Stay with me, because the second shift, it's the one nobody talks about, and it might be the most important. Okay, let's get real for a second. You've probably been told that your metabolism is slowing down because you're getting older. But that's only part of the story, and honestly, it's the least interesting part. There are 3 major metabolic shifts that happen to women in their 40s. The first one? Yeah, that's the one everyone knows about. The third one is surprising, but manageable. But the second one? That's the game changer, and I'll explain why in just a minute. But first, let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah is 43. She's a project manager, mom of 2, and for most of her life, she could pretty much eat what she wanted. Sure, she'd gain a few pounds here and there, but a week of salads and some extra cardio? Problem solved. Then she hit 41, and suddenly, nothing worked. She cut calories. She did more cardio. She even tried that trendy intermittent fasting thing everyone's talking about. And you know what happened? She gained 7 pounds in 6 months while trying to lose weight. Sound familiar? Here's why this happens, and why the solution is actually simpler than you think. But we need to talk about those 3 shifts first. Okay, shift number 1, muscle loss. This is the one everyone talks about. Starting around age 30, women lose about 3 to 5% of their muscle mass per decade. By your 40s, this process speeds up. Now, why does this matter for metabolism? Because muscle is metabolically active tissue. It burns calories even when you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix. The less muscle you have, the fewer calories you burn at rest. Here's the thing most people miss. 1 pound of muscle burns about 6 calories per day at rest. 1 pound of fat, only 2 calories. That might not sound like much, but if you lose just 5 pounds of muscle and replace it with 5 pounds of fat, which happens to many women between 40 and 50, you're burning about 20 fewer calories per day. That's 7,300 calories per year, which equals about 2 pounds of fat gained per year, just from muscle loss, without changing anything else. But here's where it gets interesting. This shift, it's actually the easiest one to fix. I'll show you how in a minute. But first, we need to talk about shift number 2, the one that's probably affecting you right now, even if you don't realize it. This second shift is about hormones, but not the ones you're thinking of. Yes, estrogen matters, but there's another hormone that's quietly sabotaging your metabolism in your 40s, and most women have no idea it's happening. I'll reveal what it is in just a second. But first, quick question for you. If you're finding this helpful so far, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps more women find this information. And if you're in your 40s and feeling like your body is working against you, drop a comment and let me know you're definitely not alone. Okay, back to that mystery hormone. Shift number 2, insulin resistance. This is the big one that nobody's talking about. Here's what happens. Insulin is the hormone that helps your cells absorb glucose, sugar, from your bloodstream. In your 20s and 30s, your cells are pretty responsive to insulin. But in your 40s, especially around perimenopause, your cells start to become resistant to insulin's signal. Think of it like this. Insulin is knocking on your cell's door saying, "Hey, I've got some energy for you." But your cells are like, "Sorry, not interested." So your pancreas sends out more insulin to get the job done. Why does this matter for your metabolism? 2 reasons. First, high insulin levels tell your body to store fat, not burn it. Insulin is essentially a storage hormone. When it's elevated, which it is when you're insulin resistant, your body is in fat storage mode most of the day. Second, insulin resistance makes you hungrier. When your cells can't get the energy they need, your brain thinks you're starving, even if you just ate. You get cravings, especially for carbs and sugar. This is why Sarah was struggling so much. She was eating less, but her insulin resistance meant her body was holding on to every calorie and making her feel hungrier. It's a vicious cycle. But here's the good news, and this is where we're going to talk about solutions. But first, shift number 3, because this one ties everything together. Shift number 3, the stress factor. And this one's probably going to hit home. Your 40s are often your peak stress decade. You might be dealing with teenagers, aging parents, career pressure, financial stress, maybe all of the above. And chronic stress means chronically elevated cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. And when it's constantly elevated, it does 3 things to your metabolism. It increases insulin resistance, making shift number 2 even worse. It tells your body to hold on to belly fat specifically because your body thinks you're in danger and need emergency energy stores. It disrupts your sleep, which further messes with your hunger hormones, leptin and ghrelin. So now you've got muscle loss, insulin resistance, and chronic stress all working together to slow your metabolism. No wonder you feel like nothing's working. But here's what you can actually do about it. All right, let's talk solutions. Remember Sarah? Here's what she did and what actually worked. For muscle loss, the solution is simple but non-negotiable. Resistance training. Not cardio, resistance training. Lifting weights, body weight exercises, resistance bands. You need to do this 2 to 3 times per week, minimum. Sarah started with just 2 20-minute sessions per week. Simple movements like squats, push-ups, and rows. Within 3 months, she not only stopped losing muscle, she actually started gaining it back. And here's the beautiful part. More muscle means higher resting metabolism. You're literally rebuilding your calorie-burning furnace. For insulin resistance, this is where it gets really interesting. Sarah didn't need to eat less. She needed to eat smarter. 3 things that dramatically improve insulin sensitivity. 1. Prioritize protein. Aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein at each meal. This stabilizes blood sugar and helps maintain muscle mass. Sarah started having eggs for breakfast instead of cereal. Game changer. 2. Add fiber and fat to your carbs. Never eat carbs alone. If you're having fruit, add some nuts. If you're having rice, make sure there's protein and vegetables on that plate. This slows glucose absorption and prevents insulin spikes. 3. Consider meal timing. Sarah started eating in a 10 to 12 hour window, not strict intermittent fasting, just finishing dinner by 7 p.m. and not eating breakfast until 7 or 8 a.m. This gave her body time to lower insulin levels overnight. For stress and cortisol, I know this sounds fluffy, but hear me out. This is non-negotiable. Sarah started with just 10 minutes a day of walking outside. No phone, no podcast, just walking. She also added 5 minutes of deep breathing before bed. That's it. Within a month, her sleep improved. Her cravings decreased. She felt less anxious. And because her cortisol came down, the other solutions started working better.
Here's the thing about stress management. It's not about adding more to your plate.
It's about creating tiny pockets of calm in your day. 10 minutes. That's all Sarah started with. So, remember Sarah? After 4 months of these 3 strategies, resistance training twice a week, strategic eating for insulin sensitivity, and 10 minutes of daily stress management, here's what happened. She lost 12 pounds, but more importantly, she felt energized again. Her clothes fit better. Her sleep improved. Her cravings disappeared. And for the first time in 2 years, she felt like her body was working with her instead of against her. The truth about women's metabolism in your 40s is this. Yes, things change. But you're not broken. You just need to work with your body's new reality. not against it. To recap those 3 metabolic shifts. Shift number 1, muscle loss. Fix with resistance training. Shift number 2, insulin resistance. Fix with strategic eating. Shift number 3, chronic stress. Fix with small daily stress breaks. These aren't trendy hacks or quick fixes. They're biology, and they work. If you found this helpful, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss future videos.